cosmic humanism, but when I say New Age, do you guys know what that means? New Age. Okay, what do you think New Age is? As opposed to Old Age? I mean, what is New Age?
Like almost like a demonic realm people think they can tap into.
Okay, so you're thinking of like a spiritism sort of realm. So if I give you the word New Age, we live here in Carbondale, Illinois, what immediately comes to your mind? The Gaia Center. Okay. Maybe your neighborhood co-op. We got a lot of people who are New Age, hippies. Okay, we have a lot of people in this community involved overtly in New Age spiritism practices. Now, in some parts of the country, this kind of shocked me when we lived out in Tulsa for a while. I just thought every community had a lot of people involved in New Age. And when we moved to Tulsa, I was just kind of driving around saying, okay, now where are the New Age places? Now, they were there, but they weren't as pronounced. Different parts of the country will have certain almost like gathering places for people who are in an organized New Age system, meaning they're getting together and they're talking about it. They're building systems. But New Age thought can permeate in and out of communities, even if there's not many official New Agers there, because New Age has been very popular in our culture. Let's look at it. New Age has a system called pantheism. What does that mean? Pantheism. What's the word pan as a prefix, or the prefix pan? What's it mean?
All.
All. Okay? Now, a lot of things about the New Age worldview comes as a borrowing from what other system, what other religious view in the world? Anybody know?
It kind of reminds me of Hindu, but I didn't know.
Yes. In fact, the modern New Age movement in the United States really took off when we had people coming from India, and it was an importation of Hinduism. So this is not, when you see New Age, your mind thinks, oh, well, this is a new idea. That's really not true. The roots of a lot of New Age practices are actually talked about back in the Old Testament. So there's nothing new about it. It's a viewpoint that's been around on the earth. It's a pantheistic view that means that they believe that there's a lot of God forces out there. Pantheism means more than one God, or more than one God force. And so it's almost like New Age is hard to put your finger on, because if somebody says, I kind of I'm kind of like a New Ager, then the next minute they could be talking about Jesus. Okay? Because New Agers kind of like incorporate lots of things. The next minute they could be just saying how they're going to go down to, maybe they're going to go with their friend over to the Islam event. And they're not going to have a problem with that. Okay? Now, why would that make sense then when you know here on pantheism? Kind of throw them all in. Kind of throw them all in, and you might be into one for a while, and then kind of into another for a while. And I used to hang out with people before God really did a lot of things in my life. I was a Christian, but I was hanging with a lot of people who were New Agers, and I would just be totally confused. And so some of their stuff started rubbing off on me, because I didn't know what was going on here, because most of them kind of didn't have a problem with Jesus. They're like, wearing a cross, So I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's cool, they're a Christian. But I didn't know about this, because the next minute they might be going over and doing some sort of like Indian dance, ritual, because they were going to pray up to some goddess or something, and I would just be like, okay, what is going on here? I thought you just told me that you were going to go to church one day. Do you see how that works? It's pantheism in that it's looking at a lot of mixing of stuff together. So in a cosmic humanist point of view, let's go over here where it says moral relativism and the word karma. Okay, who knows what moral relativism means? We've talked about that concept before. Who remembers what that is? Help me. Moral relativism. What is it?
It's when things are right in people's own eyes. Doesn't matter whether people think it's whatever you think it is.
Okay. Moral relativism is a sense that there is some sort of ethic, but it's going to be relative to what somebody thinks. And they have this word called karma. Now let's look over here at some things here. Where is New Age really amplified in our culture right now? Does anybody know? Hollywood. Many people in Hollywood are New Agers. And it can be confusing because, again, they might be wearing a cross necklace. But really you need to look deeper and say, what do they really believe? Because usually they are mixing in. Not all. There's some Christians in Hollywood, but let's get real. How many authentic, Bible-believing, Christian worldview Christians are going to be making the movies that they're acting on? Probably not a lot right now. I mean, not that there can't be, but statistically, but they're talking about a lot of stuff. So Brad Pitt, he declares, this is a quote from Brad Pitt, he says, it's taking everything you've learned from your parents in school and finding out what works for you and what you have to offer. The important question related to ethics is this: what feels right for you? Okay? That's the New Age thought. How many of you see some of that in operation in the world around us? That's the Hollywood, that's almost what I call the Disney thing. Okay? The Disney kind of a thing where you're going to almost sing a song. You almost imagine a song being made out of that, couldn't you? Just do what is right for you. And don't hurt anybody else. Or something like that. So it's kind of a wishy-washy. We don't want you to kill people. We kind of don't feel like that'd be best for you or them. But there's no absolute standard. That's what the ethics says. Individual autonomy is the one ethical absolute. What did I just say there? Individual autonomy is the one absolute. What's that mean?
Anything that is 100% certain is what you think is right.
Yeah. The only thing we can say for sure is that you have a right to believe what you are going to believe. Now that we know is absolutely right. You see how tricky that can be? We can't say whether anything else is right or wrong, but that we know. And we're going to fight in on that because that is central. That's the one thing we can tell for sure. That whatever he thinks is right for him, that is his right.